I've generated over $5,730,000 selling digital products, and my students have made over 50 million combined. And today I'm revealing the exact system that made this possible. And by the end of this video, you'll have a blueprint to create and sell your own $1 million digital product. Hey everyone, Shane Hummus here, and imagine waking up to find that your bank account has grown by $22,000 overnight. Well, that's exactly what happened to me last Tuesday, and it wasn't a fluke. In fact, it's become a regular occurrence in my business. But it wasn't always like that. In fact, just a few years ago, I was a broke college student, drowning in student loan debt and wondering how I'd even make ends meet. And fast forward to today, and I've generated over 5.73 million selling digital products online. Now, before we dive in and I show you how to do this, I want to be clear. Results may vary. I'm not here to promise you overnight riches, but what I am going to do is show you exactly what I did step by step so that you can apply these strategies to your own business. Now, let's start by breaking down what we mean by digital products. These are intangible assets that can be sold and distributed online without the need for a physical inventory. So we're talking about things like online courses, coaching programs, ebooks, membership sites, software, templates, and digital downloads. Basically anything that can be delivered in the online world. And here's a metaphor I like to use. Digital products are like seeds. Plant them once, nurture them, and they can bear fruit for years to come. And unlike physical products or services, you can create them once and you can sell them infinitely without additional production costs. Now, let me share a quick story about how I stumbled upon my first successful digital product. It was back in college when I was trying to get into pharmacy school, and I took this test called the PCAT. And this is a test that you have to take in order to get into pharmacy school. And I did really well on the test, and then other people wanted to know how I did so well. Now, at first I did coaching where I kind of just coached them one-on-one, and at first I was doing it for free, then I started charging. But eventually I basically realized that they're all asking the same exact questions, and I bundled it up into a single digital product. And I would sell them that one digital product so that they didn't have to do any coaching with me. And this experience taught me a crucial lesson. The best digital products often come from solving real problems that you've personally encountered. So let's talk about how to find your niche. The key is to identify a real problem that people are willing to pay to solve. And remember, you're not just creating a product, you're providing a solution. And in my case, I noticed a gap in the job market. People were struggling to get jobs. And at first I was helping people get pharmacy related jobs because I was a pharmacist. But then I kind of realized that I could help people get other types of jobs as well that were likely even better. And you didn't have to go to school for 8 years in order to get the job. And this became the foundation for my business. But how do you find these opportunities if they're not immediately obvious? Well, this is where market research comes in. After you've made a list of things that you have struggled with and you've been able to solve, then you want to do market research and make sure that they're actually things that you can turn into a business. And by the way, AI can be a powerful tool in this process. Let me show you a quick demonstration using ChatGPT. So I'm going to put in ChatGPT, I'm a digital marketing expert. What are some common pain points that small business owners face when it comes to online marketing? And as you can see, this gives us a great starting point for potential product ideas. But remember, AI is just a tool. You need to combine this with your own expertise and understanding of your target market. And one really good way to do this is to simply just look at what other people in your space are selling. So you can look at YouTube channels, blogs, Instagrams, etc., and see what the biggest influencers in those spaces are selling. Now, sometimes they might be selling their own product, and in other cases, they might be selling what's known as affiliate products. And affiliate products would be another person's product, but they get a percentage for promoting it. And chances are, if they're promoting these products a lot, it's because they're profitable. So that's what's known as proof of concept. So the best way to find the right product for you is to come at it from different angles. Solve problems for the past version of yourself. Also look at data from the market, which you can find from tools like ChatGPT, and look what other people are selling. And by doing this process, it's probably going to become very obvious which one you should sell. Now, once you've identified your niche, it's time to create your first product. And my advice is to actually start with coaching. That's where you literally just sell your time to solve the problem that other people have. So you can literally just start by selling your time by the hour, or you can sell a coaching package where you maybe work with them for weeks or even months, and you sell it for a lot higher price. And the reason I recommend doing this is because you're basically going to get paid to do market research. Because a lot of people are going to come in, they're going to buy your coaching, but you're going to notice over and over again they have the same problems. And they also might have the same outcomes that they want. And so by doing this, you are literally getting paid to do incredibly valuable market research. Now here's the thing, your first product doesn't need to be perfect, but it does need to be valuable and it needs to solve specific problems. And you can always improve and expand later. Now let's talk about leveraging AI for content creation. Now, tools like ChatGPT can be incredibly helpful in outlining your product or even generating first drafts of content. And I actually prefer Claude even more right now over ChatGPT for most tasks. But here's a crucial point. AI should enhance your expertise, not replace it. Now, ChatGPT, everyone uses this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use ChatGPT, but I actually prefer Claude. But I'm gonna tell it, ChatGPT, create an outline for a beginner's course on YouTube marketing. And here's what it came up with. Do you see how quickly we can generate a basic structure? It's incredible, and it's actually really good too. But this is just the starting point. Your unique insights, experiences, and teaching style are what's going to make your product truly valuable. Now, another powerful strategy is to package content you've already created. For example, I took the content from my most popular YouTube videos, expanded on it, and added worksheets and templates. Then I added a few more modules based on my market research, and I turned it into a comprehensive course. Now that you have a product, you need a way to sell it. And this is where the sales funnel comes in. And let me walk you through how to do this. First, you want an attention-grabbing headline. Then you want a clear value proposition. You also want social proof, so you want to put testimonials from successful students, for instance, or if you don't have that, you can put case studies from people who have used similar methods to get great results, and case studies from your own business. Then you want a detailed breakdown of what's included in the course, but don't get too technical. And it's a good idea to put bonuses to increase the perceived value, and also a strong guarantee. And this last point, the guarantee, will increase your sales by an average of 37%. Why? Because it removes the risk for the buyer. It also shows that you're confident in your product and you're willing to put your money where your mouth is. Now remember, people buy based on emotion and justify with logic. So your sales page needs to tap into both. Show them the transformation your product will bring to their lives, then back it up with concrete facts and proof. All right, so having a great product and sales page is only half the battle. You need to get eyeballs on your offer. So let's talk about two strategies that have been game changers for my business: YouTube and email marketing. YouTube has absolutely been the cornerstone of my business growth. I've grown my channel to nearly 1 million subscribers, generating multiple six figures per month. But more importantly, it's my primary source of leads for my digital products. And here's the key. Don't think of YouTube as just a platform for entertainment. It's the second largest search engine in the world. People come to YouTube looking for solutions to their problems, and your job is to provide those solutions. Now, my strategy revolves around what I call the Icon method, which is named after legendary investor Carl Icahn. And here's how it works. Find YouTube videos in your niche that have a lot of views, but come from small channels. And preferably, these videos should either be mediocre or even better if they're actually horribly made. Why? Because if the video did well coming from a small channel and it's mediocre or bad, that means that there's one thing and one thing only people are watching the video for, and that is the idea. There's an incredible amount of demand for the idea, and there's not enough videos that are supplying. Then, step 2, you want to create a better version of that video addressing the same topic, but with more depth or a unique angle. And 3, you want to optimize your title and thumbnail to stand out in search results. Now, this method allows you to tap into proven demand while differentiating yourself from the competition. And this is the single most powerful method that I have used time and time again on my channels to get views. Now, while YouTube brings in new leads, email marketing is where the magic happens in terms of sales. And I'm going to share with you powerful email sequences that can generate you thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. First of all, you want a welcome email. So introduce yourself and provide immediate value. Some people start selling right away, and this is not the way to do it. You want to provide value to them before you start selling to them. Second is a problem email. You want to agitate the problem that your product solves. Third is a solution email. You want to introduce your product as a solution to that problem. Fourth is a testimonial email, so share success stories from past customers. 5 is an FAQ email, which you can address common objections with. 6 is a scarcity email, which basically creates urgency, something like limited spots or the price is going to increase. And then 7 is a last chance email. This is a final reminder before the offer closes. And the key to effective email marketing is to provide value in every email, not just pitch your product. So make sure you build a relationship with your subscribers. They should look forward to seeing your emails. Now, as your business grows, you'll reach a point where you can't do everything yourself. And this is where scaling comes in. Let me share how I transitioned from a solo entrepreneur to building a team. The first hire I made was a virtual assistant to handle customer support and also just do random tasks that I didn't want to do. And this freed up hours of my time each week to focus on product creation and marketing. And from there, I gradually built out a team including video editors, script writers, email marketers, and even a creative director. Now, one book that was incredibly helpful in this process was Traction by Gino Wickman. It provides a framework for systematizing your business and building a team that can run without your constant involvement. And here are some key tools and systems I use to automate my business. We use Asana for project management. We use Slack for communication. We use ActiveCampaign for email marketing and as a CRM. We use School for hosting courses. And we use Zapier for automating workflows. And remember, the goal is to build a business that can run without you. And this not only increases your earning potential, but it also gives you the freedom to focus on the big picture strategy or even take time off. Now that we've covered the basics, let's dive into some of the advanced strategies that can really take your digital product business to the next level. One powerful tactic I've used is limiting the number of students I accept into my high ticket programs. For example, in my program where I teach people how to grow and make money on YouTube and basically turn it into a business, which is called Content Growth Engine, we only expect a limited amount of spots per month. And this does two things. It creates urgency, encouraging people to buy now rather than later, and it allows us to provide a higher level of personalized support for each student. Which, by the way, if you are interested in blowing your business up using YouTube and you want to apply for the program, the link will be down in the description and the pinned comment below. And the results, our conversion rate on sales calls increased ridiculously. And we had 3 to 4 times more bookings. Now, while low-priced products can be a great entry point, don't be afraid to offer high-ticket items as well. Now, there's a few different ways to promote high-ticket products that are incredibly effective. One is offering free webinars that provide valuable content. This has been extremely effective for us, but you don't have to do it. And it also works better if you have more traffic. 2 is to pitch your high-ticket offer directly in the video, and you basically get them to book a call with you, and then you sell them on the call. 3 is, of course, using email sequences. And then 4 is to have them go to what's known as a VSL or a video sales letter. Now, to be completely honest with you, I think the VSL is probably the most effective for most types of businesses out there, and it's relatively easy to make and it's relatively automated. Whereas webinars, of course, you actually have to do those because typically when you do a webinar, it's going to be live at first. However, a really easy way to start this, especially if you're starting a new offer and you're not 100% sure who your clients are and exactly what they want, is to literally just put a Calendly link so that they can book a call directly with you. Now, on this Calendly link, of course, you want to ask them questions to make sure that they're qualified, and you don't want to talk to the unqualified people. But this is a really good way to, again, do free market research. And you'd be surprised how many people will sign up for it. In many cases, it'll actually have a higher conversion rate than a VSL. And when I first launched this channel that you're watching this video on right now, it was brand new, and I made $30,000 in 30 days using this very simple Calendly link method. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into webinars. So webinars or online workshops or live trainings, there's many different ways that you can talk about these, have been incredibly lucrative for my business. Now, there's another way you can do this. It's called a challenge, and this is usually a webinar that lasts anywhere from 3 to 7 days. And challenges can be incredibly lucrative as well. And the person is going to be spending anywhere from 3 to 21 hours with you, depending on how long your challenges are. So they are very likely going to buy your stuff by the end of the challenge. Now, the thing about challenges is you can only do them once every 2 to 3 months. If you did them all the time, it just wouldn't work, but they can be incredibly effective. And they're kind of just like a longer version of a webinar. Now, webinars are things that you can do all the time. You can even do them weekly, or some people do them more than that, especially if they're running paid ads and getting these webinars filled up. But I do webinars weekly. And this is a great way for you to interact with your audience, build trust, and position yourself as an expert. Then you provide some value to them, and your paid offer should be a logical next step for those who want to go deeper. Now, I want to be real with you. This journey has not been all smooth sailing. I've had my fair share of setbacks and failures. I've made tons of mistakes. And let me share one of my biggest product launch failures and what I learned from it. A couple of years ago, I spent months creating what I thought was the ultimate course on how to get the most out of college with the least amount of time, effort, and money. And I poured my heart and soul into it. It took me 3 months of hard work to create the course. I created a super fancy sales page. I just did everything up front. And then I launched the course and I barely sold anything. I was absolutely devastated. But here's what I learned. 1, I hadn't validated the product idea properly. I just thought that it would sell because I thought, oh, lots of people would be interested in saving money on college. And looking back at it, nobody else has an online course like that. So it's no surprise that it didn't sell. And competition a lot of the time is not a bad thing, because at the time I was thinking, oh, well, nobody else is doing this, so I'll be the first one to do it, and there won't be any competition. And that's actually a really common mistake that people make. If there's no competition, usually that means it's because there's no demand. And there might be things that people are very interested in consuming for free, but they're simply not willing to get their wallet out for. I also didn't have a large enough audience of my ideal customers, and my messaging wasn't clear enough about the transformation that the course provided. So for instance, one thing that I learned after unsuccessfully launching that course is that people will pay more money for you to make them more money rather than for you to save them money, because I was basically teaching people how to save money on college. So I was attracting the type of people who want to save money, therefore the type of people that don't really want to spend on anything. And this experience taught me the importance of starting small, validating my idea, and really understanding my audience before investing heavily in product creation. Now, another challenge that many of us face is imposter syndrome. And even after generating millions in revenue, I still sometimes catch myself thinking, who am I to be teaching this? And here's how I push through this. I remind myself of the results I've achieved and the results that my students have achieved. I focus on the value I'm providing, not on myself. And I continually invest in my own education to stay cutting edge. And remember, you don't need to be the world's foremost expert to create value. You just need to be a few steps ahead of your audience. So for instance, if you're at a 3 out of 10 skill level, you can teach a 1 out of 10 to get to 3 out of 10. And if you're at a 7 out of 10, you can teach a 3 out of 10 how to get to 7 out of 10. You don't necessarily have to be at a 10 out of 10 skill level to teach people. And a lot of the time, a 3 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 is much more relatable to a 1 out of 10. And in many cases, they're actually better at teaching a 1 out of 10. Lastly, let's talk about handling negative feedback and refunds. They're going to happen, and that's okay. Here's my approach. View feedback as an opportunity to improve your product first and foremost. And this also works with the feedback that you get on your YouTube videos. Second, have a clear no questions asked refund policy, right? Make it very clear what your refund policy is. And if they meet that criteria, no questions asked, you just give them the money back. And 3, remember that not everyone is your ideal customer, and that's fine. So for instance, I noticed it was much harder to get results for certain types of customers, and that's why we no longer allowed those types of customers in the program. We only accept the types of customers that we know we can get really good results for really fast. Now, after trial and error, I found that my ideal client is either YouTubers who already have an established channel and they basically want to learn how to properly monetize it and turn it into a business so that they're not working like 80 hours a week, or business owners that want to get more leads, clients, etc., and just make more money in general from YouTube. And those are pretty much the only 2 types of clients that I accept. So if you're one of those 2 types of clients, go ahead and book a call down in the description and the pinned comment below. Also, I made a phenomenal video on how to actually automate most of the YouTube process, which you can check out by clicking right here.